all teachers, all staff need to have evaluations. Students need to be evaluated. If evaluations aren't come at the right angle with the right mindset, it can truly hinder the culture and climate.
Welcome to the School Climate and Culture Show. Hosted by Steve, a passionate advocate of positive school climate and culture, together with Megan Deedy. Join us as we explore strategies, share success stories, and provide actionable tips to improve the culture and climate in your school.
Hey gang, we are back for the School Culture and Climate Show. My name's Stan Tall Steve, and I'm also here with...
Hey, I'm Meg. How's it going, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing great. Now, we were together for a little while, which is great, face to face, which was awesome. It's good that we always get the opportunity to do that, but of course, we're back into our separate parts of the world again.
Yes.
I'm here in New Jersey, you're in Wyoming, but school started for you, yeah?
It did. It started yesterday. Just teachers, though. Just teachers went back this week. So we're in the middle of doing all the things, getting ready.
Yeah. Getting the building ready, getting the classroom ready, going through all the compliance things to check off to say that you've done them, and all of that. So, all right. So the title of our episode today, this should be a good one here, Meg. It's Evaluation Nation. Evaluation Nation. And the reason why I picked this title and this specific topic is, all teachers, all staff need to have evaluations. Students need to be evaluated. And if evaluations aren't come at the right angle with the right mindset, it can truly hinder the culture and climate. It can knock down morale. It can really hurt a lot of things. But on the other side of that, your evaluations, the way you do them, the way you come at it, can also enhance your culture and climate. It can really focus it well in that area. So when I say Evaluation Nation, and Meg and I talked a little bit beforehand, but what comes to mind when we're talking about evaluations in your head, Meg?
Well, when you first said our topic's going to be evaluation, my head immediately went to, oh, it's the end of the year, summative evaluation. How did you do the entire year? And what does that look? And it's very formal, and you have to rate yourself and put it in the computer. And that, as an educator, as a teacher, classroom teacher, that's immediately what I think about is, oh gosh.
Anxiety goes up instantly. It's like, oh, I got work to do. It's like, your eyes started twitching. I said, calm down, we're not.
Well, and you self-reflect within like 30 seconds, a whole 8 months in your brain. Like, did I do that right? Did I do that? Yeah. So immediately that's what I thought of.
So one of the things that I've always said as it comes to recognition, like when you're doing recognition and reward, especially when you're doing rewards and things like that, I always say there should be no secret rewards. There should be no. So when a reward is given, a student or anybody should know what the criteria is to get the reward, right? So that similar mindset can kind of go into play as it relates to evaluation, right? They should know the criteria expected, how they did leading up to it. It shouldn't be a wondering like, oh my gosh, what's going on? How did I do? What's really happening? So when that summative or that wrap up or whatever that might be really takes place, the communication needs to be open and clear and precise enough so that it's not a shock. It should never be a shock at that moment.
Yes. And you think our evaluation process in our district, they have like a set of almost standards. I don't know where it is everywhere. And then you rate yourself, are you distinguished? Are you basic? Are you proficient? But they're so vague. They're so big to what that is, and I've worked in my district. This is year 13 I have been. And so, you know your expectation, the things, but me personally, I am always striving for the next thing and how I can be better and so you always I'm one that just self-reflects all the time. What can I do better? Did I do it right?
All those pieces. Now from the administrative side, let's look at it from the administrative side, because the administrator is going to be the one that does the evaluation. And I get it. The administrator's job is very busy. You got a lot of things going on. And then what happens at the end of the year, you're rushing to fill all the extra evaluations that you need to have. You're worried about the quality of it. You're just trying to get it done. And I understand that it is hard and it's difficult to fit them all in. But I think that is the main piece of this, is utilizing your calendar, setting time aside to make sure that those evaluations are being done and they're being clear and you can give the feedback necessary. And one of the things I think is also good is if you have like a theme or if you have a word that you value in your school as it relates to your culture and climate. Because if you go to past episodes, I've talked enough about that. But when you're going in there to do those evaluations, you do have your forms, but you're also looking at it at a lens of, this is our school. This is what we respect and value. How is this teacher showcasing what it is that we respect and value? And those are those positive things that keeps the environment positive, that keeps the kids positive, keeps the teacher positive. And therefore, you can give that really nice feedback like, hey, we're all about integrity. We're all about teamwork. And I can see that you really had the kids in some great teams. That goes to what we respect and value. So when you're having those conversations, toss in those things that you respect and value to the teacher. And I think that would go over pretty well. What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thinking that when you sit down for an evaluation as a teacher coming from an administrator, it's kind of, what do we say? You have to start with something positive, kind of give that little piece and then end with something positive. So I think, just putting in some of those things, the recognition that you're having, and maybe it doesn't have to always happen at the end. I think there's a huge piece in to recognizing some of those things that are happening. It doesn't have to be a huge summative, evaluation, that maybe you're kind of filtering that in throughout the year.
And yeah, and the walkthrough. Let's dive in on the walkthrough, because that is some of the evaluative part. And the walkthrough, going in and looking at what the teacher's doing and how it's going. I know when I did walkthrough, I was going in there, let me find out what's good happening. That's all my mindset ever was. I never went in with the mindset of, let's find out if they're on par, are they on track, are they found the scope and sequence. Now, yes, those are all things that you need, but my thought is what great things are going on here. Change your mindset going in. Go in with the positive mindset. Go in to try to find the good. And I know a lot of administrators like, yeah, I am. But then there's this one teacher, even that one teacher, go in trying to look for the good, find the positive, find the great things to really help them feel good about what it is that they're doing. And then you can kind of build them up from there. Next
level, when you do your walkthroughs and you find something good, find a sticky note. We all have them on our desk. Leave a little note, stick it there, and then leave, because that has some power in, I noticed this. So,
you know what? It's interesting. I used to do that back when I was administrator. And I remember one time, it's a couple different teachers, two different teachers. I was doing a walkthrough and I never really noticed it. And I walked over and I was near their desk and I looked at the wall near their desk. They had all the sticky notes on the wall. Like every single sticky note I have given them over the last 7 years were on this wall right next to their desk. And I never noticed that for like 7 years.
I have the first few sticky notes in my first 2 years of teaching, because we all know what those years, we're sorry about the kids, we're sorry, but there's empowerment in that. I think of like when kids give you some notes or different things as a teacher, and you have like your teacher binder, your love folder, whatever you have. I think there's just so much power into recognizing some of the things that you're doing well from your administrator. We're trying to do the best job that we're doing, and it's nice to be noticed for those things.
It is. Now let's just dive into a little bit of when teachers are not doing well. All right, something's not right, something's off. There's need for improvement. And I know as an administrator, because I've been on that side, you lament over, okay, I got to talk to, how can I, and I understand what you were saying before. Say the good things in the upfront. Don't wait to the end. Build up to it. Find the good things in it. But ultimately, it does come down to, I got to tell you what you got to do better. This isn't working. Now, there's a lot of different avenues that you can take this. Obviously you can be very direct and straightforward. Look, this isn't working. This needs to be better. I didn't like this, or you need to improve with that. All those things may be true, but they don't come across as well, right? The goal is to try to get them to want to be able to be a part of that and to do it. Some of the strategies that your eyes are going up. You're thinking, what are you thinking?
I know. I was just wondering, like, how do you do that? Those conversations are hard. We like to avoid some of those. So
yes. Here we go. All right. Here we go. We're going idea mode. These are the things that I've done. Number one, whenever there's something that I don't think is working that right, even if I know exactly what is wrong, I say, help me understand. Just that little statement, help me understand how you grouped the students for this part of the lesson. Help me understand why this, that, and the other, whatever. Just stating that brings forward the conversation of what the issue and problem is, in their own words. By saying, help me understand, they know that you didn't see something or something didn't go over right or something wasn't clear to them, and they can then just determine and explain that. Now, in that explanation, you can say, well, that's not the way that it came across, and you may not have been aware of it. This is what I saw. And then you can have that open conversation. It makes it a lot easier to say, help me understand X, Y, Z, whatever it needs to be. That little statement is huge. It's huge.
Yes,
It softens it, but yet you can still hit the hard things very well. Second thing is mini goals, something I call mini goals, because a lot of times what we do is the teacher has an issue problem, whatever it might be, or maybe they have multiple things. You go in there and you this, that, and the other. The teacher walks out crying. Oh, I can't, there's a million stuff going on. You got to hit a mini goal. Find the one or two things that can make the biggest impact. There may be some other stuff that's going on. I get it. All right. Pick one or two things. Talk to them about those one or two things, and then you make a mini goal. Now, a mini goal means that you're setting a goal that lasts 2 to 3 days. Ooh. That's it. And I get it. The evaluation is like until the next time I come to the evaluation, which could be in a couple of months. No, 2 to 3 days. What can we do? I want you to try this the next 2 days. That's it. Now, as a teacher, you being a teacher, that's not too overwhelming, I don't think. How would that come across?
Yeah. Well, I would feel like it would be manageable. I'm going to work on this one thing, but then in turn, I'm going to need you to follow up.
Yes. And that's the thing. When you do this, administrator, you sit there with your calendar open on your computer and a book, wherever you have it, and you write in that book, follow up exactly 2-3 days later. This goes to your integrity, gang. You have to do the follow up. Even if it is you go back and you see them in the hallway. Hey, how did that go? Walking past them in the hallway. Oh, stop by my office. Tell me how it went. Or go to them. That way it's less threatening. To their room. Hey, I just wanted to see how that went. How did it go? And you go in there with happy. You go in there happy. You don't go in there like, I'm here to check in on that. Right? You go in, just act happy, even if you're not. How would you receive that as a teacher? How would you receive that?
Right. Okay. So first of all, if there's something that it needs to be fixed, that's always a tough place to be. But you've given me time to kind of marinate in the idea, time to fix it over, try out some things because it didn't work so well on day one. I still have a couple days to try it out.
There you go.
And then you're coming in on a happy level rather than like administrator side and thinking you're not going to do well anyway, So it automatically makes me feel like I'm going to receive it well and that I've tried this. So let's say it doesn't go the exact way that I'm supposed to have it go, but I've tried something, I'm moving towards the goal. I feel a lot less attacked, I guess.
Oh, it didn't work. Like if let's say, oh, how did it go? Because that's what I would do. I would walk in and be like, hey, how did it go? All excited. Hey, how did it go? And then on top of it, if it didn't work well, the teachers feel like, oh, I let him down. But it's not a terrible letdown. It's like, oh, he's so happy for me. You feel like you're empowering them. You feel like I support you. I can't wait for you to see the outcomes of that. Oh, I wasn't able to do it. It didn't really work. Oh, well, what can we do to make it better? What can we do I could try again. Okay, how about 2 days? Again, another mini goal. Mini goal. Try it your last 2 periods of the day. I'll check in with you at the end of the day. Like that mini, whatever that strategy is.
Yes.
Mini. Because remember, we're in this for the long haul, gang.
I love what you said that you support them, that the support is there. I think that is huge because sometimes you're right. Administrators, they're very busy. You have all the things going on, but sometimes we just need that extra support in the little mini things. So I love that.
Mini goals are it. Tiny mini goals. And then once they've started to get some traction with that mini goal, then you can come back and say, hey, I got another one. That worked out so great. Let's get another mini goal in there. How about for this one, let's focus on this little thing, right? Keep working on that mini goal for 2 days and I'll come back to you. 2 days again. And sometimes administration, if you're busy, you might have a VP or a supervisor that can do the follow-up. Right? It might not always be you because, certain people are busy, but get that follow-up. And whoever's doing the follow-up, you say to them, go in happy and excited as to what you got to do that. That means so much. So much. All right, let's shift.
Okay.
Let's shift to the classroom. All right, because there's evaluation nation as it relates to teacher to student. Right? So what are your thoughts on that, Meg? What do you think as far as
Okay.
that relationship and that evaluation piece there?
Honestly, it fits exactly with administrator to teacher as it does teacher to student slash parent. You're
Parent.
thinking
Yeah.
about your classroom kids, and if you come in hot and heavy and you're yelling at them about things that they're not doing right, they're not
Mm,
going to receive it very well, and behaviors are going to go up, and the trust is down, and you're done. So my big thing is, I'm starting the new year, a new group of kids. We don't really know, kind of who they are. So you're getting to know them and you're noticing different things about them. And you are naturally setting those mini goals with your students, right?
mm,
Hey, you know what? I saw that you did this. Maybe we could do this a little bit different. Let's try it next time we line up. Let's try it next time we're in the hallway. Let's try it next time we find, bring your materials to the class that you're doing, the older
mm,
grades. But then the big power in that is that you have communication with your parents. So
mm.
many times do we have educators that call parents when it's something has gone wrong.
Right. Right.
Child is misbehaving. When you get a call from your classroom teacher, you automatically think, oh, great, what's Johnny done now? And
Mm,
instead, making those phone calls home that are positive for your parents. Hey, Johnny and I were working, he was working in a team today and he did a great job, talking to his peers and staying calm or whatever you're working on. And you've told your student, hey, I'm going to call home and let them know
hmm
at home that I'm saying something positive about you. I'm going to tell them this. I can't wait
hmm
for you to share it first. So
Yeah.
you're making that connection between teacher, parent, student. And then when those hard things come up, let's say Johnny has a
hmm
terrible day and you need to have that conversation with your parents, they receive that information so much better when you've already built the relationship and know your
Yeah.
expectations and that you've had those positive phone calls home first.
That's what it is. Yeah, I'm all about the positive phone calls home. Now, I get it. Some people like to hide behind the tools of technology, right?
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with a nice little email. All right, I'm a class dojo, message them, but there's nothing like a phone call, listening to a voice, or even a face-to-face if possible, but that's not always the case at times. But pick up the phone. It's like, and keep a list by your desk or somewhere to remind yourself, oh, call home about Stevie, call home about Maggie, call home about Johnny, whatever it might be about X, Y, Z, right? And even if, let's say that you missed it, let's say you missed it. Oh, I forgot to call. Call the next day and say, oh, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yesterday I meant to call. It still means something. It still does.
Here's the thing. So I'm walking into 25 plus kids this year,
Mhm.
right? Pretty big class. And that could be hard to manage to make sure that you're reaching every parent all the
Mhm.
time. So
Right.
make yourself a calendar, write it down. You're going to call these people this week. So
Yes.
you've called one person every day or every other time. Maybe it's a call and then it's a message. My
Mhm.
favorite thing to do is the beginning of the year when parents don't know me quite yet and you call and they're already upset. Like,
Mm.
you're annoyed and you're like, did I catch you at an okay time? And they're like, no, not really. And I'm like, oh, sorry, let me just tell you this real quick. And
Tell you
as
something good. Right.
yeah, as soon as you're like, I just want to let you know how amazing your child did today and X, Y, and Z, and be specific, something
hmm
that's them. And the tone that changes with the parents is just,
Whoop.
it's next level.
It's next level. I mean, everybody who's listening who's a parent, all right, listen to this carefully. One of the most prideful things as a parent is when you hear information from someone else that your child upheld the values that you have in your house. Yes or
Absolutely.
no? Come on. There's nothing like it that they made a decision that was a good decision and you weren't there to prompt them or tell them what to do. They did it on their own. So when
Yes.
a teacher calls and you're getting all nervous, teachers getting nervous, I'm going to call a parent. Honey, don't worry. You coming with good news. You coming with the stuff. They trust me. They're gonna love this. Yeah, it means so much. It is absolutely a phenomenal way. And so when we're talking about that evaluation piece, when you're finding the good evaluations and the good things that need to be done with students, you need to make sure that those are shared right away. And a lot of the teachers, you're doing that all the time with the students. And I know we have to do corrections at time,
Right.
but keeping that balance, even if it's heavier on the positive than the negative, that really can make everything happen. Make so much more happen for you.
One more thought on this. Let's say that you have a student that they have that behavior, whatever the behavior is, it's just constant. And you've set the
Mm,
mini goals, you've
mm,
done the things,
mm,
but
mm,
as soon as they do it the way that you've talked about or that's expected, and then you act on that and you say, you did a great job doing this thing. I noticed you do it. I'm going to call home and let them know how amazing you did today on this. Or let's say you don't have time, a handwritten note. You know what? No notes ever make it home unless it's a handwritten positive note that your teacher did. That thing's
Yep.
going to make it on the
Guaranteed that's
fridge.
coming home. I
Yes.
guarantee you that thing will be coming home and they'll hand it to the parent with two hands and bowing.
Yes.
Parents, please take this letter that's
Look what
written
I
by my
did
teacher.
today.
Look what I did today, right?
And then you know what? Tomorrow, after their parents have seen it and they've showed them, tomorrow that behavior, it might not be as good. It might not be fixed yet, but it's on its way. So
It's
your
on its way.
evaluations are doing what they need to be doing.
Right. And here's the other thing, right? And this goes for the evaluation at the teacher level as well as evaluation for the student level. Don't give a backhanded compliment. You know, it's like, oh, I see that you were questioning more students in the class. About time. I'm glad we finally got that go. That's not a compliment. That's a backhanded compliment.
You just
Well,
burn
hey,
me.
you finally were able to get those students quiet down the hallway. You messed it up. You know, student, oh, see, you finally made it through the math lesson without falling out your seat. Congratulations. No, you ruined it.
You know what some of those students are going to do then? They're going to purposely fall out of their seats in math because you
Yeah,
just did that.
right? And the teacher, what's that teacher going to do? Talk about you behind your back to every other teacher and say, that, what kind of compliment was that? That little mother bleep, 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 yo. Come
Yeah.
on.
Climate and
Right?
culture.
Climate and culture, morale. You think that you just revved it up. Oh, I noticed they had a great hallway. I told them about time. No, you just ruined it. You just ruined it. You just ruined it. All right.
Yes.
So keep that evaluation positive. There's so many things that you can do, and I get it. Evaluations, they're important, they're needed, but the way that you go at them, even if you need to that improvement, even if you need those other things done, the way that you go at them can help the culture and climate or hurt the culture and climate greatly in
Yes.
so many different ways.
Those little sticky notes, you can buy sticky notes that are like little thought bubbles. You can get them on Amazon for like $7 and you get like 12 colors. It's great.
Yes.
Those, I try to get I stick with a color and I have to get rid of those, in a certain time frame and put them on students' desks or in their lockers or in their cubbies. Just something like, I noticed this, you did that, just quick little mini things. So
Right.
another
Right.
idea.
And that whole concept of, you know what, I'm not going to recognize or take note of things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. No. Do you want them to continue to do it? Then you need to say that. That's the other thing with evaluations. Take note of the things that they're doing well. Do you want them to continue to do it? Well, then you take note of the things that everybody's doing well. Take note of it. Say it. And that's going to mean something. Those notes, those saying it, speaking it, whatever it might need to be. Even if you just get an eye, you get to connect their eyes. Thumbs up. Hey, saw what you did there. Way to go. Those are the things that we want to see happen.
Absolutely.
All right. Woo! Evaluation Nation, y'all.
Yes.
Evaluation Nation. Get your mindset together on this. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one.
It was good. Good information. Good ideas.
It is good information, good ideas. Share this with everyone. Go. And hey, in the blog or in the YouTube, in the comments, whatever like that, share different ideas that you may have as it relates to how to move people forward in an evaluative process. What can you do to get the most out of people? Do you also do mini goals? Do you have certain phrases or comments that you use when you're talking to other people to provide evaluation that they can receive better? We want to hear all those things. That'll really allow a lot of other people to get some more ideas on what you can do to really make the evaluative process at the teacher and student and parent level so much better.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, hey, we're off. We're going. What's happening in your world before we wrap out? You got speaking, training, consulting. What's going on in your world?
Gosh, well, other than getting the classroom ready for 25 kids next Monday, Integrated is actually on the road in September. We're on our way to Florida. We're helping a school down in there, and then a couple conferences coming up in November. So
there you go. Yeah, we're at the same conference again. We're at the Innovative Schools Conference in November. I've just been identified as the opening keynote speaker. I think it's on the 7th. I think that's the date that they have for the opening keynote. You're going to be there. Hopefully, hopefully we're hoping that's going to happen. I think you are.
Yep. We're doing a pre-conference, so we'll be there right before you doing our great workshops that we have for administrators and teachers.
That's it. I'm going to be out in California at the end of October for Q. It's called the Q Conference. It's for directors of technology in schools.
Oh, I
And
love
so, yeah, that's a different group. And I like that. And we're going to talk about culture and climate and what their role is in culture and climate and how they can move forward better. So I'm excited about that. And oh, guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Oh, what?
Oh,
What do you got? What else do you have?
what do you got well, I was going to say, we're also going to be together. We're actually going to be together twice in November because we have our
Oh,
Within Our Ranks retreat.
yes. Okay. The Within Our Ranks retreat. Yes. The first weekend in November. If you're an educator that wants to learn how to speak, train, or consult, this is it. It's going to be in San Antonio, Texas, right near the Riverwalk. You don't know this, but I was just talking with my assistant Jessica. We are finalizing and signing the contract for the hotel, hopefully by Friday, this Friday. All right. So I'm not going to say the hotel yet because we haven't signed the paper yet, but it's very close on the Riverwalk. Really excited about that. That's going to be really good. But yes, we're going to see each other twice in November. That's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, tomorrow I'm moving my son into college.
Ooh.
Uh, yes, college move-in day. It should be good because he's going for band camp. He's in the marching band, so
There
he
you
gets
go.
there before everybody else. But I'm doing the move-in day, and then the band director found out that I'm a speaker and asked me if I could do some leadership coaching to the band leadership, and I said yes. So I'm going to be doing that as well tomorrow.
How
So it's
cool.
exciting.
How
I know,
cool.
right? Tell me about it. It's
Yeah,
cool stuff.
that's
All
awesome.
right, gang. Hey, thanks y'all for hanging in. Give us some feedback in the comments on everything as it relates to Evaluation Nation, and stay with us. We got some more great episodes that are going to be coming up soon for everybody to really check out, and we're excited about that. All right.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Yep. See you later.